tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to Platinum Solution, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Tom Blood, and joining me, as always, Ashley Helpley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to talk about the massive acquisition news of the day. New York Times buying Wordle.
See, I knew that would come. I knew. That's why I didn't say anything.
I mean, come on. It's a big deal. Low triple seven-figure numbers, you know? For Wordle. A game several people have been ripping off.
Have you played Wordle?
I played Wordle once or twice. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, it's cool.
I didn't play it because I can't.
No, because you suck at this, yeah.
Yeah.
You suck at a lot of games, apparently.
Yeah, it's true. I cannot play those puzzle games, though. Anything that's like, this thing's in the wrong position, but it's correct. My brain goes, what? What does that mean?
Yeah.
It could be a two-letter word and I could have like the T in the wrong spot in the word two and I'd be like, I don't understand.
This game's broken. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, what's it saying? I don't understand.
Yeah. Smart acquisition though, because now Wordle's so popular, people might actually read the news.
Maybe that's like the New York Times is
strategy.
Strategy, yeah. Maybe you go play Wordle, it pops up like, do you want to subscribe? New York Times.
Hey,
read this article.
Do you want to play? Read 3 articles in full. Answer this questionnaire afterwards, and then you can play Wordle.
Imagine. They said free for a time, so
I think it'll be free. If from the wording of the guy who actually developed it, it seems like it will be free permanently. But then it'll be a lead-in to all the other puzzle games that they own. The New York Times crossword and shit. So.
In the trophy cabinet, this trophy cabinet this week, silver trophy for Discord stuff happening with PlayStation's gold trophy for a state of play this week, and we hit a platinums for acquisitions. So of course, not Wordle.
What?
Sony buys ex-Halo Destiny developer Bungie for $3.6 billion. Right, push square. On the PlayStation side of things, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan has posted about acquisition on PlayStation blog. His statement stresses that Bungie will remain an independent publisher and developer and not be counted among Sony's first-party PlayStation studios. The quote on the blog was, "We believe it makes sense for Bungie to sit alongside the PlayStation Studios organization, and we are incredibly excited about opportunities for synergies and collaboration between these two world-class groups. We'll be ready to welcome and support Bungie as they continue to grow, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this incredible team." And then the Bungie official statement said, "We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play." And then on the follow-up, because before we get to discussion, get all the information out there. On the fact page, Destiny says, "Our commitment to Destiny 2 as a multi-platform game with full crossplay remains unchanged," said Bungie. "We want you to play the Witch Queen on February 22nd, 2022 on the platform of your choice. What about exclusive content? Who knows, but we'll see." So they shared a One Vision poster, one community multi-platform, self-published, creatively independent, save game everywhere. So when you woke up this morning, Ash, because this news actually dropped this morning before we were recording the show.
Thank you, PlayStation.
For once, moving the podcast to Wednesday finally has paid off.
Yep. One time.
It's fine. What do you make of the news and all that sort of stuff?
I found out in the most depressing way, I think, this morning. I pulled up my phone, and there's a Twitter Spaces notification that some random person is talking about Sony buying Bungie. So, fuck Twitter Spaces, in my opinion. With that said, yeah, it's an interesting acquisition. Obviously, PlayStation has had long ties with Bungie, with their Destiny, marketing partnership over the entire PS4 lifespan.
I think since the launch of Destiny, there's always been like a PlayStation thing
which is, yeah, obviously, they've got ties, they've got history with Xbox and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's an interesting move. Obviously, this has been in the works for a while. It's not like a sudden thing. It's not like a sudden reaction to last week's news that Microsoft buying Activision.
Yeah, just for all those people, that was honestly the dumbest thing I've seen on Twitter so far this morning. Anyone who's like tweeting any version of, well, I guess Sony had to buy some studio in reaction to Activision. It's like, do you really think like Activision was brought? It's like they walk over to Bungie, like knock, knock, knock. Hey, like, can we draw up a contract real quick and get that processed in 2 weeks? No.
Yeah. It's I think, it's interesting in what this means for Sony's planning long term, I guess. Like, obviously, they're placing Bungie as like their own independent studio. They could potentially, they release multi-platform live service games through in the future, which I think, obviously, them being a live service studio is something that they was enticing because they've got their, like, the behind the scenes, like, infrastructure there and experience that a lot of the PlayStation studios don't have. And we've seen that from a couple of different articles that a few different studios are working on, like, live service games. Particularly, like, Naughty Dog Factions potentially in the next year or so. So having someone like Bungie to be able to support them would be a massive get. I mean, IP wise, I mean, Destiny's still huge, so I mean that's a big thing, and the potential I think they said in there, the potential to do multimedia stuff is interesting. Like, how soon before we see either a Destiny movie or TV series or some sort of spin-off from Sony Pictures? Yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities. I think it's a lot of money. It's like 3.6 billion for one studio, but I guess we'll see.
I think it's a bargain, really, in the scheme of things, like compared to other purchases and stuff. But the interesting thing, the several points of discussion have, of course, been around, comparing this to the Activision thing. I would say I'd prefer Bungie just have remained independent because I kind of like that story for them where they were like, they broke apart from Activision and they were like, we can do it on our own. Like,
listen, third time's the charm is what I'm saying. You know, they were bought by Xbox. They decided to go independent. They had that partnership with Activision for so long. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they find true love now.
Hopefully. Well, I mean, I always like that when they broke free and they were like, we're just going to do it on our own. We're sick of Activision shit. I was like, good for you. It's like, Destiny is such a big success. You can just sort of do that shit on your own. So, but I mean,
well, apparently not.
Apparently not. So they said, apparently, like, they did actually need more help in some regards. Like, they've been talking about how some of the big expansions, they like just don't have the team size or like the resources or whatever to sort of handle those big expansions at the same rate as they would have without the support of some of Activision's like sort of smaller studios or whatever else. And obviously under PlayStation they will potentially be able to get some of the support there even from the studios PlayStation's now buying to solely be support studios, so which is good because buying support studios is a lot different than turning a studio into a support studio. So, so I don't think it's anywhere near as comparable to the Activision thing. Like when you're talking about the whole turning everything into a conglomerate, blah blah blah. It's like this is what I'm saying. It's one studio compared to an entire
publishing branch.
Yeah, entire company.
A third of the market.
Yeah, so
almost. Yeah,
I really don't think it is comparable, but I know I've seen people be like, "Oh, PlayStation fans won't say shit about this now because they just want to shit on Xbox." I'm like, well, yeah, I'm saying like I'd prefer them to say it's separate, but I just don't think they're comparable. So, it's an interesting deal. I think it kind of, even when we was talking about it last week and being like PlayStation doesn't need to purchase anyone, all this sort of stuff. Again, this isn't in reaction to that, but it's like it's probably in reaction to Bethesda, sorry, I guess. So if anything, Herman Holtz posted a picture on his Twitter page, and was like a picture of whatever I can't remember his name, whoever the dude from Destiny, and then like Herman Holtz and Sean, no, not fucking Sean, fucking Uncle Jim, and I wish Sean was back, Uncle Jim, and a few other people and whoever else, and was like, last year we all met in a room to discuss the future, blah 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 blah. So that's when they had a big meeting about it. This all started kicking off last year. At what point last year? Don't really know, but it said last year. PlayStation out of this gets, I guess, the more important thing they're touting is the knowledge and know-how of Bungie as a developer and the resources to use them to help some of their upcoming games as they talk about these games as service or whatever, like ongoing titles sort of thing. They also then get Destiny as a property. So this is the one that sort of benefits from both is Sony gets Destiny, gets to make that into a movie, TV show, whatever the hell else, which is benefiting for Sony, plus also benefiting for Bungie, I guess. And Bungie gets the benefit of having a support branch in PlayStation to help them with further development. I think it shows how much. I don't think everyone could get this deal. So to do a deal, because I don't even feel like it's up for discussion. The whole independence thing, I think, speaks for itself. I think they've said it so many times and tried to word it perfectly to the point that it should get rid of any doubt. They're like, we are publishing independently, we're developing independently, everything will remain. They've pretty much said everything without listing like the platforms. They've said everything, wherever you play Destiny, you'll still be playing it there. So I don't feel like there's any like need for discussion around, is PlayStation going to pull Destiny off Xbox? I don't think they are. Which is, I don't feel like any other developer could have got like a weird deal like this, because it is a weird deal. $3.6 billion but also I guess Destiny makes a lot of money. It is like very popular. So I think it says a lot more about, I guess, PlayStation's potential future purchases, which was the other thing where Jim Ryan, what was the quote here? Quickly pull it up. In an article with, who was it? Games Industry. He said, we should absolutely expect more PlayStation acquisitions, and continued by saying, we are by no means done with PlayStation. We have a long way to go. Elsewhere in the organization, we have many more moves to make. So I would say expect a couple more acquisitions or purchases of some kind over the next 12 months from PlayStation. But you just got to wonder, looking at Bungie, like what's that set like this is the setup. This is like, okay, so what is PlayStation looking to purchase? Are they looking to purchase stuff to make exclusive? Because based off this, they're not. Based off this, they're looking to purchase things studios that'll overall help the rest of their studios and has a strong IP that they're able to leverage in other departments and areas Sony own and do things of those that Xbox can't. So that means movie and TV, which is a big thing. Obviously, Sony's been moving into the last couple of years when they announced PlayStation Studios, which I think was 2019.
I think so, yeah.
It was right before, because then Uncharted was delayed and everything else. But it was like PlayStation Studios announced, Uncharted movie coming up, Last of Us thing is coming up, Twisted Metal. Like that was when they did like a whole presser or whatever for that. So obviously that's a big section they're moving towards, is actually using their big IP to hit in different markets. So yeah, I feel like it'll be really interesting to see what the future purchases are and if they still hit the same tick boxes of big IP that can be leveraged elsewhere and a developer that has fills a box somewhere they don't have for the PlayStation studios to help them work in certain areas they don't have to do stuff with. Or maybe they'll just throw a fucking haymaker and go purchase something really big. But I feel like that's honestly the least exciting at this point, because that's just what Xbox is doing. It's like, let them do that. PlayStation do something else. So
I think it'll be a lot of these teams we've been seeing them partner with and that kind of stuff, like, rather than just like a massive studio or publisher. It's definitely, interesting, but a lot of these acquisitions, we've barely seen any fruit born from them yet, I mean, the best deal that has happened in the last decade is easily Insomniac, which is paid off tenfold, and then they got like $200 plus million for it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
like,
there's nothing for that.
Yeah. So, yeah. What do you think? Does this mean all play? I mean, the multi-platform stuff that they keep saying in the reports, is it just PC, or are we going to see Destiny going to stay on X?
I think
the next
it's
Destiny game on Xbox.
I think it stays everywhere. I think I feel that's what I'm saying. I feel like they've made sure to hone in on the we are independent. We are independently developing. Sony's not like having a word in what we're doing. We're independently publishing. Sony's not having a word in what we're publishing. Yeah. And then they made sure to put up that thing that for the upcoming Witch Queen that was like, you will play it wherever you're currently playing it. Like wherever you currently play Destiny, you're playing this. And that's what we continue to do. It would be really weird too to suddenly pull everything away, because they only recently, in the last 18 months, whenever it was, did the cross-play, cross-progression, free-to-play for up to what point.
That's a game that's already out. The next game.
That's it. Well, if Destiny 3 is ever actually a thing is also a question, because I don't even know if that like
if they're interested. Yeah.
We
all know they're working on a new IP, so
yeah.
I don't. It's interesting on the back of today's news, other news which isn't in our show notes, but they just released their like box art for the next MLB The Show.
Yeah, Game Pass,
which is going to be
Switch.
Well, it's coming out on Switch for the first time and stuff. So, I mean, that's a PlayStation Studios game that's coming out on the Switch.
I don't feel like that was.
We live in crazy times.
Yeah.
That was MLB forcing their hand, but still, it's like it's kind of weird.
I feel like maybe, like, say Bungie develops a new IP, potentially PlayStation exclusive, especially if Sony like says, "Hey, we're gonna like put the majority of the money into this for you to make it exclusive," or like like this is.
But I guess it depends. If it is live service, you need to have as many people as possible. We've seen some of Sony's multiplayer games like underperform because they're kind of exclusive, like Destruction All Stars that did well for like a week or two, and then it's kind of, I haven't heard anything about it for the last 12 months. Even though
they had a major update last week, but I don't know if you checked it out.
No, yeah, and like, well, I was going to say rigs, but that's also held back by it being on PSVR. So
I would say you see exclusive PlayStation random packs, things like nothing like super exciting. Like think PlayStation Plus skins for games, or whatever that sort of stuff. Otherwise, I do not think a single thing changes as far as Destiny's. As far as Destiny goes, I don't think
Destiny stays the same. It's just what's next.
Yeah, I feel like Destiny 3 would be the same. I feel like Destiny 3 would just be everywhere. I feel like Destiny as a whole, everywhere still.
Destiny, that franchise, yeah.
Yeah, Destiny as a franchise stays exactly the same. Any future Bungie developed IP, case by case basis, up for discussion. And that's fine, I guess. Like they brought them, whatever. But
yeah.
We are living in weird times, so it's
yeah,
it's hard to predict what and
what's going to happen next. Yeah,
which is, I don't know, it makes it harder to guess, and then more interesting for business decisions when it's like, well, for some things you make it exclusive, for some things we don't. Like Microsoft's been doing that ever since they purchased Minecraft, I guess, to a degree. Like, well, that one will stay everywhere. You purchase this other thing. Nah, their games are now exclusive. Blah 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 blah. They've been picking and choosing for a while. So PlayStation has to do the same. But yeah, it's interesting. See what happens next. See what else they purchase. I don't know if they just like have got a bunch lined up, and that's why Uncle Jim's happy to make that comment, because he knows shit's going to be rolling out soon. Or I would prefer, like, if they do have a bunch of deals locked in, it's not like movie releases. You don't need to let them sit in the box office by themselves. It's like, just get them out there. Just get the announcements rolling. Let's just get them out.
I mean, I think we'd all prefer if like they drop the news like every Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be really helpful, you know.
Yeah. If you want to do another one
Just
next week.
If you want to do like a 6-7 week like slow rollout, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
like, first thing in the week, let us know what the big announcement is.
I think that's fair. Update on the Activision stuff though. So Press Start writes, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier is reporting that Activision Blizzard is committed to releasing the next 3 Call of Duty games on PlayStation platforms. This includes Call of Duty 2022, Call of Duty 2023, and Call of Duty Warzone 2, also 2023. All 3 of these games were set to be part of existing agreements between PlayStation and Activision Blizzard. This year's Call of Duty game is expected to be Modern Warfare series, with next year's title set to be developed by Treyarch. So after these 3 games, it's said to become a little hazier, with the acquisition set to be closed out within 18 months, which gives Microsoft a load of time to work out what to do after these 3 releases. So we shall see. So you've at least got a couple years of Call of Duty PlayStation players to feel safe, at which point we shall see what happens. I still think what'll happen, I'm going to stand by they just split the single player. Just make the multiplayer or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's interesting and obviously it's good for them because they've kind of like, our hands are tied, but now they can like test the waters and see like if there's a massive influx of people going over to Game Pass to play COD, and the sales of them are not good on PlayStation. Like, yeah, it's all working. We'll like make it exclusive.
Yeah, you got to wonder what the percentage is, I guess.
But if the PlayStation sales are like still strong and there isn't much of a move. It's like, I guess we'll keep publishing on PlayStation. So, if you want COD to stay on PlayStation, buy COD, I guess. Yeah.
It's interesting because imagine, like, say, like 5 people play Call of Duty, 3 of them play it on Game Pass, and then only 2 buy it on PlayStation. Then I feel like at those odds, you know, Xbox then goes, well, why don't we just force their hand or try to force their hand? So then we just make it exclusive and force those 2 people to come over, you know? So maybe that's like the percentage. Like,
by the time this deal runs out, fingers crossed, consoles will be easy to buy. So.
Well, yeah, hopefully. PlayStation games for 2020, PlayStation Plus, games for February 2022 were announced. Your games for this month are EA Sports UFC 4 PS4, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, and Wonderland's One-Shot Adventure PS4, Planet Coaster Console Edition PS5. What do you feel about this month's games? Which one would be? Are you going to check any of those out and keen for any of those? Or
I think it's pretty solid, you know. Like, it's not mind-blowing. I think the Tiny Tinians one is probably like a smart, like, hey, let's get you in the mood for this world because the sequel's about, or the first spin-off game is about to come out.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've seen people kind of upset about this one because obviously it is DLC from Borderlands 2 that they've spun off into its own single standalone release.
They have gave it away nearly everywhere at this point. They gave it away on Epic already, and
yeah. So that's a bit rough. I've already got UFC 4. That's fun. And Planet Coaster. I don't know how that's gonna
on console.
I don't know how it plays on console, but
yeah, I don't know.
I might give it a go.
It's called console version for a reason, I guess. Yeah.
How about you?
I would like to play the Tiny Tina's DLC if I had time. I always wanted to play it, but that would probably be my pick. The ones I'd like to play the most. Planet Coaster would be intrigued to see how it works, but not really something I'd be super excited about. And UFC, don't really care. So. It's a decent month. It's not really anything that stands out as like, this is terrible, or what the fuck is this game? More PlayStation news that was dropping this morning. Discord announced that players will soon be able to link their Discord and PlayStation Network accounts to display game activity in the chat platform. Integration is rolling out as of today. Discord originally announced the upcoming feature in May 2021 after Sony Interactive Entertainment bought a minority stake in the company. So all you'll have to do, in case you've never done it, it's rolling out, I guess, in the US at the moment. Maybe it's in Australia by the time you're listening, or I don't know. And by the end of the day, who knows how fast these rollouts happen. But you go into Discord, user settings, connections, click the PlayStation logo, log in with your account, And then you'll be able to have it so when you're playing your PlayStation, Discord players can see what games you're playing when you're playing them. Much like it can when you're playing Xbox games currently, Steam games, Epic, Blizzard, right? Like all the accounts you can currently link. But so it's not super exciting. However, it is like the first stone has been thrown in the Discord, PlayStation integration. Like we're taking that first step, which I think is exciting because now I'm like, cool, account integration, Discord app on PlayStation. Like let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep going because that's what we want to see. Post stuff from your PlayStation screenshots and stuff to Discord groups. Let's make it happen. So yeah, can do that. Of course, if you have your profile set offline or games hidden or whatever, it won't show it on Discord. By the way, either. You have to have your profile online, or else it won't work. Just as a PSA, I guess. But yeah, excited to see the Discord rollout begin.
Yep. The sooner the better.
I hope so. PlayStation State of Play is happening this week as well as a service announcement. So it's going to be 30 minutes of Gran Turismo 7 gameplay ahead of its release on March 4th. It's at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, or if you live in Standard Time, Brisbane, like Ash, it's 8 a.m. Thursday, February 3rd, this Thursday. So I'm keen. I'm looking forward to seeing some more. Obviously, this was expected. Like, this wasn't shocking. It was like, well, Horizon's about to release. What's the next game? PlayStation always does these state of plays like a month before the release or 2 months before the release. 30 minutes of Gran Turismo makes perfect sense. Fine by me. I know it's not going to be super exciting for a lot of people. I'll be seeing complaints like, oh, can't we have like, right? It's a exclusive. This is how they're marketing it.
Hopefully they give you what you want, Start in the main menu, jump straight into the race, see how quickly that is.
Oh my God. That's all I need to see. And I'm in.
If it's less than 5 seconds, you'll be happy.
If it's less than 5 minutes, I'll be happy. Fucking don't even get me started on complaining about the fucking load times.
Load times, yeah.
Gran Turismo, my God. But yeah, I'm keen. Obviously, we haven't really seen any gameplay for a while. I don't think maybe like glimpses here and there and like hype videos or something like that, but I haven't really seen a full dive in. 30 minutes should be enough time to go over, hopefully show you what you're talking about, like jumping around menus and stuff and saying like, here's where you buy cars, here's the new license test, here, like general overview. Jump into, show a full race, show maybe a couple races, show like a rally race, show a street, like a normal like Grand Prix. 30 minutes is a lot of time for a racing game to like show different elements of the game, photo mode stuff, I'm sure. I don't know, like there's plenty of time. So that's cool. Looking forward to watching that on Thursday. I'm sure we'll discuss everything that happens in next week's episode. I don't feel like Gran Turismo is something we need to do an impromptu bonus episode for. We don't care that much. Do you care at all? Like, any interest? Or?
Not overly, I'm not a big racer fan, because I suck at those,
We all have a genre.
It's like
we all have a genre,
But yeah, I'm keen to see how pretty it looks and like how it compares to others in the genre.
Yeah, hopefully very pretty. Last one we saw it was very pretty. So
because obviously Gran Turismo is like a name in the industry and has synonymous with video games and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Find out more Thursday.
Yep.
Another thing that happened this past week that was interesting. So at first, all these articles went up, and I was like, PS5 screenshots on your Show Empty app now. Woo!
Finally.
So the Verge wrote, Sony seems to be close to making it a lot easier to share PS5 screenshots outside of your console. The company had appeared to be rolling out a way to have screenshots and videos captured on your PS5 auto upload to the PlayStation app, but now it's gone. Sony began testing the feature in Canada and Japan in October, and it became available for me, as in the writer. Who the fuck wrote this? What is it name? J. Peters. For J. Peters. In the US on Tuesday night, but less than 24 hours later, I'm unable to use it. So there was like a full thing on Twitter there. At one point, it's like woke up, everyone in the US is like, yay, the feature's here, exciting. And then it was just randomly pulled.
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah. happened again. But yeah, so hopefully that means this feature is rolling out soon. Maybe they just accidentally put it live too early, or they were just trying to test it or something. I don't know. But in case you don't know, the general gist is that your PlayStation screenshots will automatically upload to a cloud or whatever, and then you'll just be able to open the PlayStation app and save and post your screenshots via your phone to Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want. Save them to your phone, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Obviously make it a lot easier to post stuff without having to do it through the console, using the stupid typing thing and all that sort of stuff and whatever else. So it's a cool feature. It's one that, of course, most people are looking forward to, myself included. So hopefully it does roll out soon and we can know what the hell's happening.
The sooner I don't need to use the PS5 keyboard, the better.
Yeah, I feel like I've got nearly good at typing, like speed typing on that keyboard, but it's still just not. It's not quite there. Especially if you want to write something long. I remember one time I just linked up my phone quickly because I'm like, this is going to be quicker than actually trying to actually type with the thing. So, and then another weird bug that happened this past week that I thought was worth pointing out was IGN had an article up that said bug briefly shows old PS4 trophies as PS3 games, sparking more backwards compatibility rumors. As spotted by VGC, an issue on PSN recently meant the trophy list on both console and the mobile app were showing incorrect data for PlayStation 4 trophies. Instead of displaying trophies as standard, many players reported that their PS4 titles were instead showing up as PlayStation 3 games. The issue was quickly resolved, but of course most people were then like, what was Sony doing in the back end to have that happen? It doesn't mean backwards compatibility is coming in a form to PlayStation. What do you vote? Weird bug or PlayStation's crossing wires, testing things?
I mean, it could just be a weird bug, like someone accidentally imported that over across. Because you can still see your PS3 trophies on your PS5, right?
I don't think you can. I think if I scroll all the way to the bottom, it only shows back to PS4. But I could be wrong.
Well, maybe they're just adding. That's what they're doing. You can see your PS3 trophies on your PS4.
Maybe.
Or PS5. Although, why would you do that if you can't earn trophies? You know what I mean? So
there you go.
I mean, it's more likely that there is something going to happen based on all the rumors. So
yeah, I feel like it all ties into this new version of PlayStation Plus, backwards compatibility thing. It's all going to be one major reveal announcement or whatever, I suppose. When we get such an announcement, I don't know. Hopefully, we don't have to wait till June or some bullshit time, like the hype news period. Maybe when would be good? It would be good. Oh no. Late March, I guess. Horizon's out. Gran Turismo's out. They have a lull.
I mean, yeah.
Big state of play. Big state of play.
Yeah. After those are out, I don't think, they don't make an announcement till those are out.
Yeah. That makes sense. I feel like that would be a good time for a proper state of play.
A big state of play, you put the God of War release date and that news.
Yeah. God of War, tease something else, I guess. Whatever else they've got coming this year. Announce that or tease some of those details for the PlayStation Plus backwards compatibility thing or whatever. Something quickly for PSVR 2, probably. That would be like a proper big state of play event, surely.
It'd be like, it's been delayed to 2023.
Yeah, man. Not a date, but surely if Sony does their first proper state of play, like quote unquote proper state of play for 2022, surely they at least mention.
I don't
PSVR
think it's even
quickly.
you can even call what you want a proper state of play because it's not a state of play. It's like a premium presentation.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one, like where it was various bits of information and stuff. Like maybe they've done one or two ever. So I could dream. A boy can dream. You know what I mean?
Can.
All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you have for the show. Your thoughts on any of this week's topics. Head to our Twitter, explosionhour.com/Twitter to check us all out. And you can join our Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord, where hopefully soon we'll be able to share screenshots directly from our PlayStations to that said server. And if you liked this episode and thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page, explosionnetwork.com/support, to drop as little as $1 to help keep the lights and mics on. Remember, until next week, every trophy counts.